Now it's recording, so don't say anything that you don't like about me or
Right.
Lachlan or Tyler, because they'll probably hear this back.
Got it.
And we're back. Another episode of the Virtus podcast. Again, change of hosts. We've upgraded again. We downgraded from Lucy, upgraded from Lockie and Tyler. Fair?
Fair. I mean, yeah, fair.
For those that don't know, and if you missed the title, our guest for today is India. India is one of our athletes at Virtus at the moment who is about to head back to America, back to college. So I had to pay her in lunch, tie her to the chair, and tell her that everything's going to be okay to get her to come on. But hey, we made it happen. We're here. We're settled. It took us like an hour to set this up, but we're settled. We're good. So lots of people will see Indy in the gym but have no idea about her. She's pretty quiet until the girl gang gets together, and then they can't get them to stop talking. But we're going to find out a little bit more about Indy, about college life, about basketball in general, about plans, about life. Indy's favourite thing to talk about, herself. So we're captioning this character building exercise number 1. Deal?
Sure.
Hey, she said something. That's a start. Now, traditional with me taking a podcast, because traditionally I take the podcast for the people that don't want to be on the podcast or are not so comfortable talking about themselves. What's your heart rate currently?
Oh, I couldn't tell you.
Well, let's find out. No, we have to find out. This is the thing. Ask Jazz. Jazz started like 100 beats, so if you're more relaxed than Jazz, we're winning.
How do you even use this?
You got to hit the top right button. For those listening along, I'll call it out for you, but yeah, then hit down. No, just hit once, and then go hit down. We're having some technical difficulties here. Bear with us.
We should have run through this earlier, I think.
No, that's the whole part of a podcast. You can do whatever the hell you want for an hour, especially the Virtus podcast. And we are sitting at a nice 85. So we're stressed, but we're not too stressed. That's not too bad.
It's decent.
We'll see how that changes across the next 40 minutes, give or take. All right, Indy, you know the drill. This is the one question you knew I was going to ask.
Yeah.
Tell us about yourself. Who you are, what you do, what you're going through. Not maybe it's so deep, you know. Let's maybe not start like that.
All right. I'm India Blyth. I'm 19, almost 20. I think I'm pretty much defined by basketball. That's what I think anyways.
Aren't all basketballers?
Yeah,
Ball is life.
Well, yeah.
Clearly never played basketball, so.
Yeah, I've been playing since I was probably 7 or 8 years old. And I haven't stopped since, so it's been kind of my life since then.
What made you start?
My dad always played basketball, and then my older brother got into it, so it was kind of just...
Yeah. High level, local level, what are we talking here?
To start with?
Not for you, but for your old man.
Oh, good question.
That's why we're here.
I wouldn't say it was high level, but it wasn't. I think it was just local, but,
Okay.
you know, he still plays.
We're talking like Frankston, Western Porty kind of stuff, or like,
Yeah,
you know,
yep.
like NBL 1, like...
No.
That's why I'm just, we're finding out, Indy. I know some basketball.
Okay.
Yeah. What position do you play?
I'm a point guard.
What's your number?
45.
Yeah, and the second question you was going to ask, a segue, why 45?
So in the GOAT debate.
Oh, here we go. Can of worms.
In the GOAT debate, I definitely lean towards the Michael Jordan side of things.
Yep.
So 23 is kind of basic. That's what I think anyway. If you're number 23, he's
Any
one of
number
those.
23s out there?
She's one of those. So Michael Jordan's high school number was 45.
Mm-hmm.
And then when he came back from retirement,
Yes.
after his dad passed away, he wore 45 for the Bulls as well.
Mm-hmm.
And then...
Not many people know that. You'd be surprised.
Well...
Now they do.
Now you
See,
do.
you're just teaching people, Indy.
And I'm an avid fan of Donovan Mitchell, who plays for the Utah Jazz
you go.
as of now.
As of now, yeah.
It could be a
Give it a
trade
week.
in the works, we'll
Give it a
see.
week. NBA trade deadlines and...
Yeah, so 45 is been wearing it for a while and I'm sticking with it.
So male goat. Again, this is a nice little segue into the next question.
Uh-huh.
Male goat is Jordan.
Yeah.
Female goat.
Oh, in terms of
Basketball.
Basketball, obviously. But Australian-wise, Lauren Jackson.
Of
course.
Worldwide.
I think I'd have to say Sue Bird.
Yeah, that's mine too.
There are other great female basketballers.
Yeah.
If there's anyone that I actually sit down and watch, it's Sue Bird.
Yeah, she was the one that I made a beeline when I was in States to go to one of those games. But
yeah.
On that note, when talking about basketball and your favourite things like that, who do you go for in the NBA? Yeah, I'm going to make you say it.
So, I go for the New York Knicks.
We've had this conversation before for everyone playing around at home, and I remember this conversation.
So, my dad goes for the Knicks, so I was born into it. But when I'm following and I'm watching the NBA, I love to watch the Jazz.
Yeah, fair enough. I'm not going to talk too much about the Knicks and how bad they are, because the Jazz might get that bad this year too.
We can skip over that part.
Talking about getting stuck into basketball, what made you stay in basketball? Because it's one thing to do it because your parents did it or someone you look up to did it.
Yeah.
What made you stay then versus what made you stay now?
Well, I think...
as you said, you live and die basketball. It is all is life.
Yeah. I think, ever since I started playing, I thought, I'm pretty good at this. I'm decent at this.
Such a basketball thing. You're all tickets on yourselves.
So I thought, I can get somewhere with this. And that was pretty much my mindset.
What about now?
I like working hard, and being at college now, it's totally different from playing over here. And I think I just love working hard. I like getting better, and I love...
So what you're saying is I should make your sessions harder. Oh, that's all I'm hearing.
Not necessarily.
I'm hearing more running, more kettlebell swings, more power drags. That was on the menu today. So when we talk about college and stuff, how did that... And I'm going to skip a few because we're on that note of college now. Were you approached to go to college? Did you send out a mixtape? Here are my highlights. What does that kind of process look like to start? And then we'll go back to Little Indian. We'll go down that path as well.
Okay. So people I've played with before, because I've played youth league and seniors while I was still in juniors. So I played with a lot of older women, and so I've known a lot of them who have gone off to college too and have talked to me about their experience and playing and, seeing on their social media all that they get to do. And I was like, yeah, that's pretty cool. I think I might enjoy that. So I talked to my parents about it, and they got on board with it too. And then so Twitter is a really big thing in the basketball world. If you have a Twitter account and you upload your highlights or just your workouts or anything, and then you follow coaches, schools, a lot of that, then there's a lot of people that view your videos. And if you make an effort to reach out to them, then they're not just going to ignore you.
Yeah.
So I reached out to a lot of coaches. And then, so the coach that I actually had last year for my freshman year, he reached out to me. So I didn't know who he was or where he was at. So he reached out to me on Twitter and said, I've seen your highlights. Can you send me some full games so I can, everyone can show your highlights. But send me a full game so I can see what you really like. Yeah. And then, so I sent him 2 games, and then he responded to me and was like, let's set up a FaceTime call. And then...
They had 30, 10 and 10 in those games? Were they good games?
They were decent games. Yeah. They were all right. Yeah. I wasn't going to send him my worst.
Well, you never know. Sometimes we all have down days.
We do.
Yeah.
And then, so I had offers from a bunch of different schools, but this coach I really liked, and the scholarship that he was offering me was the best that I'd been offered. So, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Where is college?
It's in Montana.
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 In Montana, what's living in Montana like? Because it's a little different world over there. US in general, but especially in Montana.
Yeah. Montana's a huge state, but it's just made up of a lot of small towns here and there. So it's really different to living here because it's really populated and busy and crazy, but it's totally different over there.
What's the best part of living over there compared to here?
Ooh, I think for me, like living on campus and in the dorms, the social side of things, I love it.
Yeah, what's a dorm look like? Because for me and for potentially other athletes and coaches, they've had people go over to college and kind of experience that life, and obviously depending on the college you go to and honestly the state that you go to, like college life can be quite different.
Yeah.
What's college life kind of look like for you?
Ooh, like a day?
Yeah, run me through a week. Like, what's it like living on campus? You live on campus, don't you? Yeah. What's it like kind of living on campus? Like, what's a day look like from like I know you do some studies, but we'll get into that as well, but what does that classes look like? When's training look like? Like, what's a week look like?
So, just going off last season, because it'll obviously change this season. So every day you have a certain amount of classes. So on a Monday you could have 1 class. On a Wednesday you can have 3 classes. Like it's different. Mm-hmm. And classes start as early as 8. But sometimes you have your first class at 11, so you can get a nice sleep in.
Yeah, shocked me. You like to sleep in. Shocked me.
So we used to lift at 2 to 3, and then after that you'd get ready, chuck your ankle braces on, and head to the courts.
Chuck your ankle braces on.
Well, our coach made us wear ankle braces last season.
Really? How come?
So I already would wear one, but he wanted us to wear.
How come?
Because he was sick of everyone getting. So he'd coached for a long time.
Yeah.
Just precautionary.
Fair enough. Each to their own.
Yeah, I was fine with it. I didn't mind it. It wasn't my ankle that ended up being a problem.
Yeah, we're gonna get into that too. We're not quite up to that segue yet, but we'll get there.
Yeah. So then we would head to the court at. So we would lift from 2 to 3. And then, so this is in season, and then the court would be used by the men's team and the volleyball team. So we would practice at 5 or 6. I think it was 6. I can't remember now. I think
semantics. We practice in the night.
I think it was 6 to 8 was when we would practice. But on a game day, you would have shoot around at around 12. So like the middle of your day. If you don't have classes, we'd go and shoot around.
What if you did have a class?
Then you would shoot around earlier or later.
Sure.
But usually pretty much everyone could get there, or they'd get there a little bit later.
They shape their classes around practice, right? Yeah. Especially like student athletes?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, then you'd go to lunch.
Okay, what is... Run me through like cafeteria life, because again, it's not exactly very common over here. Like, we've all seen the movies and things like that. Like, what is actually like living, eating, like existing on campus look like? Because what we see in the movies isn't actually what happens for the most part.
So for us, for my college, we have, they call it the special for the day. So that's whatever the chef's making for the day. But then you have like your grill that's open too. So you can go and order from the grill, and you can get like...
Okay, run me through what that looks like.
You can get like, a cheeseburger, breaded chicken sandwich, they call it. Okay. It's not a chicken burger over there. Mac and cheese, nuggets, fries, like all.
Just like like truck stoppy kind of.
Yeah, just all your fatty foods.
America life.
Pretty much. Yeah.
And then like sitting arrangements, like just sit on the table, find like, is it like a big hall? Like what are we talking
pretty
here?
much. Yeah. Just grab your trays and just table.
Grab your slop and sit down and. Girls over there, boys over there, those over there,
Yeah, there was a little bit of the baseball guys would sit over here, like
That's because baseball kind of sits like above, as kind of like a baseball guy.
Oh, okay, sure.
Yeah, we're above basketball, so.
Each their own. Yeah.
Run me through like your college itself, like quite a sporty college. What's the name of your college? Because I haven't mentioned that yet either. Shout out coach this, coach that. No, like. Let's say super college, like common college, like I don't know, like let's say NFL football, watch like Alabama, or like you see like LSU and their new change rooms, like crazy kind of stuff. And then kind of what does your college look like in comparison to those kind of things? Because there's some pretty impressive facilities, but what are we talking about when we get to Miles?
Yeah, so Miles Community College, I'm
Represent.
repping today. So we're at JUCO.
Yep.
A Division 1 JUCO. So
What's that for people who have no idea what that is?
So JUCO is 2 years.
Yep.
So it's a junior college, and it's 2-year college, and it's kind of, I guess, a pathway into a bigger college. So there's people who go JUCO for a year to seek out a better option than they got out of high school, if that makes sense. So that's more like American. But for here, because it's like we don't get the same exposure as you do if you go to high school in America, I think JUCO is a really good segue into that. So obviously your facilities aren't going to be as amazing as UCLA or, you know.
Don't have an Xbox in your locker, like.
No.
Do you have your own locker?
I do, yes.
Yeah.
So, you know, we have our locker room. It's not huge, but it's a good size. It does the job. The courts are fine. Our gym is like upstairs and downstairs, and it's got everything you need.
Yeah.
But it's not next level amazing.
Yeah. It's not like college football life.
Yeah.
Because that's a different ballgame.
Oh, that's... yeah.
Is that the dream, though?
Oh, yeah.
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 If you had to pick 3 colleges,
Oof.
like as any you can imagine, they all gave you an offer. It's the same offer.
Yeah.
What are the 3 you'd like to pick from?
Oof. That's tough.
That's why we're here.
I'm thinking like weather-wise too, because in Montana it's freezing. Like winters,
So cold.
Winters are freezing and snow. Like the worst it got last year was minus 30 degrees Celsius.
Yeah, that's chilly.
So like it's freezing. And coming from here, I was like, oh, mate.
I'm out.
This is different.
Someone who's a summer baby, that doesn't surprise me.
Yeah. So I'm thinking like, you know, University of Arizona.
Yeah, like real hot.
Florida. Like
with all the old people.
Well, sure. Oh, yeah, I'm just, you know, LA. Just, I'm thinking weather-wise.
Like Berkeley?
Yeah.
UCLA, yeah. Okay, interesting. Now...
But in saying that, if I got a great offer anyway.
Yeah, cover the bases, you know, keep them all happy. Yeah, this is not what we're here for. We're here for decisions.
Yeah.
No, just kidding. So your locker setup.
Yeah.
Are you a clean locker girl or are you a messy locker girl?
Depends on the day.
Oh, okay, so you're a messy locker.
Well, yeah, I guess. It depends. Like, some days I walk in there and I'm like, what am I doing? Why does it look like this? And
I've seen you do that in here.
and I'll clean up, like, yeah, that's much better. Yeah. Or some, like...
Everything has its own little place. Like, run me
yeah.
through your locker setup.
So at the bottom, I got my shoes.
Mm-hmm.
Last year I had...
Shoe fiend. I'm going to get to this as well.
Last year I think I had 3 or 4 pairs at the bottom.
Go-tos? What are your go-tos?
I wear Westbrooks.
Do you?
Yeah. So
I didn't know that.
Jordan, why not?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a fan. I like them.
There you go. I didn't know that.
Before that, I was Kobe's, but...
Yeah. Price went...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Skyrocketed.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I got into those and...
Yep, cool.
I like them.
Nice, like it. All right, so we talk shoes.
Yep. And then the top's kind of just where I chuck my clothes and my jerseys hang or...
Yeah, you guys are responsible for, like, your own jerseys, like, wash, clean, like, do you have, like, cleaners that do that for you? Like, chuck in a bucket kind of stuff? Like...
We didn't do our jerseys. Only on the road you do your jerseys.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
But, like, practice gear, we had, like, a roster.
I don't know. You're talking to me.
So we just, like, change every day.
Yeah, cool.
But that's depending on the team. But that's how our coach ran it last year.
Fair enough, yeah.
So.
Of course, sure.
Yeah.
Now, you mentioned being on the road and stuff like that. What's on the road? Like, what's it look like? You know, from, let's say, randomly you're playing on Friday night or something like that. What's maybe the week leading up to that? What's the day look like? And then, like, what's your travel time back? Like, you're getting in buses, planes, like, you're getting out at 2 a.m. Like, what's that kind of look like?
So, it depends where, we travel to and how many games. Because, like, I was looking at our schedule this season and we have, like, 6 away games. Yeah. Without a home game in between. So it's
fun.
Like,
you're going traveling.
Yeah. So, we get on a bus and we share
Do you bus everywhere?
Yeah. So, we share the same bus as the men's team.
Yeah.
So, we're all on this big bus. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's good. We'll get into the fun part later too, don't worry. I got like 4 or 5 things we're going to go prodding.
Yeah. So, but you get your own, like, 2 seats. There's enough space for everyone to get their own 2 seats. So, you can lay down, like, it's not.
You'd fit.
You're not just. Well,
Maybe not some of the men.
you'd fit.
Damn right I would. With extra leg space.
Yeah, so, you know, you could lay down. It wasn't just like
Yep.
everyone's squished in there together. But, you know, depending on if you've got 2 away games in like 3 days, you'd stay. So we would stay at like a midway point.
Uh-huh.
And then the morning of, you'd, you know,
Take the
do
rest.
another hour, an hour back. So
Yeah. What's the longest trip you got to take? This season coming up.
7 hours.
Nasty.
Oh, yeah. But we'd normally go up like the day before.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So, yeah.
Still.
Yeah.
It's a 14 hour.
Yeah.
What else? Like, what are the colleges you kind of play against, like, on a similar kind of level? Like, what's the competition like?
So because JUCO's 2 years, like, the schools and the players change a lot. So every year it's like, you don't know what you're going to get. It's different. But, you know, we played against a lot of people who went D1 out of last season.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, the competition's not bad. Like,
Yeah.
the competition's really good.
Yeah,
Everyone thinks, you know, oh, it's JUCO, it's not a 4-year. But
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
you see a lot of people.
Because JUCO comes with that stigma.
Yeah.
It's kind of what, like, I know I've never been over there, but, like, kind of like, from the outside looking in and have people, like, going over there and talking about it, like, JUCO gets that stigma of, yeah, like, brush to the side, whatever.
Yeah.
You know, shit quality, shit quantity, like,
Yeah.
stuff like that, so.
But yeah, it's nothing like that. You know, you'll play a few teams that you're like, oh, no good. But you play teams that you're like, these girls can bowl, like,
Yeah.
they're good.
Yeah.
So it varies.
Uh-huh.
You know, it's the same as young. You know, you play
Yeah.
bottom of the ladder, you're like, oh, no good. And then you play top of the ladder
Yep.
and you're like, these guys can bowl. So
What's your kind of, like, not what's your favourite team currently line up against, but, like, what kind of vibe do you go and go, like, I'm going to have a night tonight?
Oof.
Like, what has to happen for you to have those feelings?
I don't know. To be
Just every night, I'm
honest.
just going to rock up and have 30? Like, is that-
No. The first game that we played last season, it was a non-conference game, so they weren't in our conference.
Yep.
They're not in our league, I guess you would call it.
Yep.
I was so nervous. I was like, and it was a home game too, so I was like, you know, I've come from Australia all the way here.
Yeah, you're the import. Turn up or go home.
First game, home game, everyone's in the stands watching. I'm like, oh.
How many are we talking?
This is
like, what's
pressure.
your home stadium like seat?
Oof. I honestly don't know.
We're talking like
But it was first game, so
like
the turnout,
Frankston Stadium,
turnout
or
was
like
good.
you know, like you're rocking up to like Rod Laver.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Like we're talking 2,000 people, 5 like.
I don't honestly. I don't know.
Fair enough. We'll research after.
We will.
We won't, but you know.
Sure. We will. Yeah. So like going into that first game, I was like, oh, everyone's gonna be watching. Like I feel like pressured, and it was my mum's birthday too that day. So I was like,
Shout out.
So I gotta play good for my mum.
Shout out,
today.
Debbie.
Yeah. Shout out, mum. Love you. Yeah, and I remember I was just like so nervous, and then so I started that game, and I got my first basket, and I was like, oh, like
Run me through what happened.
my first
Yeah.
basket. So the first thing I shot a 3, missed.
Airball miss or
No,
like just
no.
throw up a brick?
You know, hit the rim, bounced
Brick,
off.
like yeah, but like full brick or just like nearly.
Oh,
It was a brick. I can see it.
okay, sure. Let's
Yeah,
say
I
it
can
was
see
a
it in
brick.
your eyes. It was a brick.
Sure. Yeah. So, but you know, we got an O board and kicked it back out. So then I was still at 3.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, all right, let's just fake the 3. It didn't work out for me last time. Fake the 3 and then just a little layup. And after I did that, I was like, all right,
I'm it. You're off.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good to go.
First game, points. Talk to me. Stat line. What were we talking?
25.
Oh, of course it was. Minutes? In how many?
No.
What do you play on average?
Minutes?
Yeah.
Well, I only got to play a couple games.
Yeah, true. We're going to get to
So-
that next. So.
Yeah, I only got to play. Sorry, I couldn't tell you. But I think maybe 30.
Yeah, okay.
Maybe less. I could be totally wrong. But
What kind of style of basketball do you like to play?
fast fast pace.
Yeah. If you can compare yourself to like an NBA athlete or an like WNBA athlete, like who are we talking?
That's a
And
terrible,
I haven't seen a lot of you play. So I have seen your highlight videos.
Right.
You probably don't know that, but I have seen them.
Right.
But I haven't seen you play enough
Yeah.
to like pick one for you. So you're gonna have to give me something here, and I'm not gonna let you get away with it.
Oh, it's just a bad question.
Whoa. Okay. You know what? I'm out of here.
Ugh.
We're not moving on past this. So,
Yeah, but you're making me compare myself to like an NBA player.
You're just better than them all.
No.
I said WNBA too. Come on, we don't. You know.
Yeah, but if like I don't watch WNBA as much as I watch the NBA.
Whoa.
Don't give me that face.
Whoa. What face? People listening can't see that face. What are you talking about?
The face of you're a female athlete and you don't watch the WNBA.
Okay, there. That was the face. Moving on. We're not moving on past the NBA question though.
All right.
Are we talking like a LaMelo, like a creative type? Are we talking like a playmaker? Are we talking a corner three? Like, what do you like to play like?
Well, I like the 3 ball.
Everyone loves 3-ball. Splash.
Yeah. But I like I got to bring the ball up the court and get our team in our offense.
Mm-hmm. Do you like having that control?
Yes.
Or does it freak you out?
No. Well, I've been a point guard since I
Yeah,
started
but point
playing,
guards sometimes don't like to have the ball. They like to do their work off the ball.
I mean, I don't mind either. I just hate a full court
Get
press.
me on the... Shock me. Who would have thought? Who would have thought?
Yeah. So, but I like bringing it up. I like setting us up and making sure we're actually gonna run through what we're gonna run through.
I think I know the answer. You being a point guard who likes threes, offense or defense?
Offense.
I thought so. Just double check. I'm still not letting you pass this
Alright,
NBA question.
figured,
Yeah, it's coming.
figured.
You've been here long enough now that I'm pretty stubborn.
Yeah. It's just such a hard question because I'm gonna say it and be like, I'm not even like them.
Well, they're not going to know that.
I'm just gonna say Donovan Mitchell just because.
Oh, so you got springs.
He's my favorite player. Like, if
Can shoot
I
a
was to
three-ball,
sit
though.
down and watch someone play, it would be him.
Yeah, in my mind, I'm thinking like, are you a Luka, like body up? Are you a Trey, like creative? Are you like, even like nearly like, maybe like a Drew Holiday, like defense based? Like that's kind of what I'm thinking. But we'll go with Donovan.
Not a
And
Drew
it's-
Holiday.
I know it's nothing like that. For people who haven't been at Virtus, this is probably Indy's least favorite thing. Is Indy and I have very similar humors, and she like hates it, but like she kind of loves it. So those kind of like belly laughs, they happen a lot.
Do they?
Hey, it's a good thing. It's a good thing. Talk about what's next. What do you want to do? So you got one year left at JUCO. Mm-hmm. And we're going to go back and play lots.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are.
We are. We definitely are. Well, I'd love to move on to a 4-year school. That's the goal.
Yep. Had offers, had inklings. Like, what are we talking here? You have to spill all the beans, but...
Well...
Like, how far out from, like... Let's say next season, how far out do you kind of like... Do you have an agent?
No.
No, I didn't think so. Like, how far out do like colleges potentially like get in contact with you? Like, what kind of timelines are we talking?
Honestly, it's like...
It's fluid, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I just like, for me, I would have to get some film, some college film that I can actually send out.
I'll come stand in the stands with an iPhone with a baseball hat on. There it is.
Yeah, I just need to get some film that I can...
Yeah.
So I
Get on the court.
need to get more than 3 games
Yeah.
in.
So, segue. We led there nice. So we made it there. What happened last season? Run me through. We'll run everyone through because I know, but...
Yeah, so we talked about my first game. So that was a non-conference game. So then the next games we played were in our conference tournament. So we traveled to North Dakota and we stay in this like big casino hotel place that has like just this court in the middle of it. So every team in the conference goes and stays here. It's a hotel for a couple days, and based off of last season's standings is who you play in this tournament. So you don't play everyone, you just play this person, then you go in the winner's bracket and you play. Like it just depends. So I got 2.5 games in. And I was point guard, bring the ball up the court, and she's kind of tried to do a sneaky and sort of come behind me and tap the ball, but instead she's kind of tripped me up and came in front of me, but took my arm out. And so
Took your whole shoulder with
yeah,
it.
and so as I landed, I couldn't brace myself.
Yeah.
And it just, my shoulder dislocated, and that was that.
Mm-hmm.
What
happened? What was the damage? That was all. What was the damage? So obviously, like, we know as SC coaches, and some do listen to this, like that mechanism, but for those that potentially don't know, like what happens, obviously, from a shoulder point of view, when you land like that, like what happened to you?
So my shoulder came out of place, and I'm looking at it, and it's over here, and I'm like, yes,
That's not normal.
That's not where it's supposed to be. And so everyone's coming onto the court. So I've fallen, and my teammates try to pick me up, and I was like, don't touch me. I've tried to be nice about this, and I'm like, don't touch me. And I'm kind of just on the floor trying to figure out, like, it felt like something doesn't feel right, and I hadn't looked at it yet, and I was like,
and you
sitting
don't,
there.
And I've never dislocated a shoulder, but like from what people tell you, don't really realize until one, you either look at it, or two, you go, I think something hurts, but I'm not sure what.
Yeah, so it was like something felt wrong with me, but I wasn't like, I couldn't pinpoint it straight away. I was like,
flapping by the side.
So I couldn't lift my arm, and I was kind of lopsided like this, and then I've sat up, and it's kind of just like laid in front of me like this, and I was like, I can't move my arm. So at this place, there's different venues that you can play at, and the venue that I was at didn't have an athletic trainer at the time.
Of course it didn't.
So, and it didn't just pop back in, it was out, and it was stuck, it wasn't coming back in.
Yeah.
So we're on the court, and they're like, well, everyone, there was so many people around me, like I just don't remember.
Yeah, basketball's crazy like that when you talk about injuries. Like, something happens, and then there's literally 15 people on the court.
Yeah, there was so many people around me, and I was like, my coach was next to me, and he was the only one that I was paying attention to.
Yeah.
And he was just saying, like, it's fine, like, take your time, stay here as long as you need, this, that, and the other. And then, so I got in a car, and we drove to the next venue that had the athletic trainer. Yep. And so I'm sitting in the car, like, lopsided, like, tears rolling down my face, and I was just like, oh, this is horrible. This is terrible.
The worst.
This is terrible.
Yep.
And so, and this whole time I was just thinking, like, I'm on the other side of the world. And I was like, my parents are sleeping right now. And I'm just like...
just got my arm flopping by my side.
So I was like, oh, this sucks. And so I've gone into this other venue, and the athletic trainer's there. And he's like, he gives me one look, and he's like, oh, yeah, you've done it good. And I was like, oh, great.
Something you probably don't want to hear from an athletic trainer.
Yeah, like the face he gave me, I was like, oh, okay. This is a good one.
I've done it here.
Yeah. And so... he took me like around the corner and made me lay on the floor, and he starts like yanking my arm in different directions, and it wasn't going back in. And here I am howling. I was like, oh, this is the worst pain I've ever felt, and it's just not going back in. And he's like, all right, take a big breath. This one will go back in. And as it went back in, I was like, the worst but the best pain. Like, it's hard to describe. As it went back in, it was like relief, but it was like, oh, that hurt.
Is it like, this sounds really weird. Is it like...
No.
Is it like when you like sit on your hand and then all the like blood rushes back to your fingers? Is that what it feel like? You know what I'm talking about?
I get what you're talking about.
Is it like that? I don't know. I'm trying to visualize,
just like
imagine it in my head.
Amplified.
Yeah, of course.
But yeah.
Okay.
I guess.
It's like water running down your leg, kind of, because all the feeling and sensation comes back, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
The damage from that's obviously dislocation, but what damage happened after that, or during that, technically?
Are we talking about my labrum? Is that what?
That's where we're trying to go, yeah.
So I had a tear in my labrum.
Yeah.
And it was just...
Do you remember how big it was?
No.
It was like 3 centimeters, I think.
Yeah,
it was pretty big.
So anything sideways or like... So I could shoot afterwards. Like, just fine. Anything forwards, I was like, yeah, this is fine. But if someone passed it to me this way, like, I couldn't go back that far.
Welcome to anatomy.
So... all those movements were like hard, or they hurt.
Yep.
Like, you'd get to here and I'd be like, I can't go any further. Like, it hurts. So
that's game 3 of
Yeah.
first year college.
Yeah.
What does the rest of first year college look like from there?
A lot of
Besides being very sad and lonely.
just a lot of sitting on the sidelines, sitting on the bench.
Are you a wheel girl? You were like a towel thrower? Like, what kind of sideline player are you? You're like...
Yeah. Well, I've never had to sit on the bench for like
Oh.
all this time, for a full game and just be like,
So good,
like,
right?
that sucked. Oh, that's not what I'm saying.
I know.
But like, having to sit on the bench like game after game.
Yep.
And just watch, and all I could do was just, woo.
Yeah,
little pick me ups here and there for my teammates that were down, but otherwise it was just.
Yeah, it's funny you say that because I kind of felt the same way when I broke my leg. Like this is way back. Like I'm pretty sure I actually stopped going to games. Like at the end of the year, I was like, I can't do this anymore. Like I'm just, obviously you don't have that same luxury, but I had the same feeling. Like this just sucks.
Yeah.
Talk about training and then college life. So obviously you're the Australian import. You're the big dog in town now. How does that kind of like affect you when one, you can't get on the court, / you can't practice, like can't show off like the things that you want to show off? Like what does that take, or does it take a toll, or like how does that make you feel going through the rest of the season? Because how long were you over there after that still?
So that happened in November, and I was there until mid-May.
Yeah, so it's a long time.
Yeah.
To just be kind of just there.
Yeah.
Talk to me about that kind of period.
Well, when it first happened, I was obviously really emotional, and like probably the first week or two after that, I was just like, I wouldn't say I was depressed, but I was down in the dumps. I was like, this sucks. Yeah. And then I had, you'd walk around the school and everyone would be like, oh, how are you? And then throughout the season, it would be like, oh, I wish you were on the court. You should be out. And I was just like,
me too.
And I was like, well, if I could, I would. And this was every week after every game, they'd be like, oh, they could have used you out there. And
makes it worse, doesn't it?
I was like, oh, you reckon?
No shit.
Yeah. So, it sucked. It really sucked. But then I kind of just had to get over myself.
Yeah. Did you have something to kind of like focus on instead of that?
I think I just focused my energy into, like, if I was playing and someone else was injured, I think, like, I would want them to help me out. So I'd be in the gym rebounding for others, like, or, I don't know, I think I'd just try and stay positive, like, for them. So, everyone has crappy games, so just be up and, get around them, like. Yeah. I just had to focus my energy into the rest of my teammates. Yeah. So, I couldn't play, but I could help them play. Yeah.
Did you have something like away from basketball to like do, or like a hobby you picked up, or like, because I know like obviously as we said before, like ball is life, and we say that jokingly, but it literally is life. Like, did you have something away from basketball that kind of acted like an exit for you? Sorry.
I just think like the social side of it was really good. Like I had a lot of friends. I had a lot of people I could talk to and lean on.
Because you're an introverted extrovert.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
We were talking about this before.
Yeah. So, just I think the friendships and the relationships that I made really helped with that,
Yep. Let's say we compare to like, what school did you go to high school? Like here?
Mount Aaron.
Let's compare like Mount Aaron, like your cohort, not like who they are and where they come from kind of stuff, but like your cohort of Mount Aaron, like people-wise, what does that look like compared to like college?
Oh, it's so different.
Yeah.
Like, high school, you'd go to school for your 6 hours and then you'd go home. And that was me. So then on the weekends, like every night, or even before school, like I was playing basketball, I was training,
You were that like gym rat.
Yeah, I was just, basketball's everything. You wouldn't
DJ.
You wouldn't catch me at a high school party. Like I was playing basketball.
Yeah.
So like I had my group of high school friends, and I'm still close with a few of them. But college is just different in the sense that like you live with them.
Yeah.
You're all in the dorms, like you're all on campus.
Yeah.
And then the same people you're in class with are your teammates or you're cheering for on the sidelines. Like it's really different. Like it's more intimate in a sense, if that.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah. So I think the bonds that I made there were so much stronger than the ones I could ever make in high school.
You spend more time away from doing the thing that you're there to do as well.
Yeah.
on that note, what's like post 9 p.m. college dorm life look like? Now, you don't need to divulge any secrets or, any keg stands you've been doing, but actually, no, you're still under 18 over there. Under 21, sorry. Yeah, shit.
So during the season, like, no one, well, you shouldn't drink, you shouldn't party.
Yeah.
And especially during the season, it's like...
And you're not a big, like, party or a drinker or anything like that either.
No.
Like, that's not you.
No. So, during the season, it's not crazy.
Yeah.
And because you've got a game...
What's crazy, though?
What's crazy?
Define crazy.
Everyone in the one... So we call them quads, like our little apartment type. Everyone in the one quad going absolutely
How many is like
crazy.
everyone? Like, what are we talking here? We're talking like
It's
30,
like-
40? Like,
It's like hard to move. Like
it's like movie kind of
like
shit.
you're in this one spot and you're in this one spot for a long time.
Plant your feet.
Yeah, so it's just crazy. It's loud. Like
Yeah.
everyone's just enjoying themselves. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Do you like that side of it, even though like you don't have to like be in that side of it? Does that mean like you enjoy that kind of social aspect? Because I know you like that kind of extroverted without being like the class clown kind of thing, if you know what I mean. Yeah.
Like I don't hate it, but it's not like it's
not
not
you.
my
It's
it's
not
not
you.
my ideal.
Yeah.
Like I would go, I'd show my face for a little bit.
Yeah, and then smoke bomb, get the hell out of there.
And then
Yeah.
I'd be like, all right. No, I wouldn't even say
9
bye.
o'clock, see you guys,
I just
I'm
get
out.
out of there before no, stay, don't.
Yeah.
Like, all right. Or I'd have to make up some excuse like, oh, I just need to go grab. Because they're very, like, Americans are very outgoing. Very outgoing. So if you're not, not that I didn't enjoy it, but it was like, oh, like, why are you leaving? It was like, oh, no, I just got to go grab.
It's just we have a different upbringing, a different life.
Yeah.
And
Totally
like,
different.
we don't, like our parents didn't necessarily like grow up in a college environment either. So like it's not just like generational.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Lastly, I know you got to go babysit because you have 2 little siblings to go look after.
Yeah.
And an older brother. Family life.
And another
sorted.
younger sister, but she's not young.
You're 3. You're family of 5.
Well, family is 7.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
There's 5 children. I didn't know that. I
Yeah.
thought it was only 4. There you go. Moving on.
Yeah.
Talk to me about coming back over here now, like from like a character point of view. Obviously, you're going to go through a lot of like character building, like doing a podcast with Mitch on a Friday afternoon. No, but talk to me about like, have you noticed the change coming back here now, and just like the way that you might interact with friends or family, or like, what are the changes that you notice that you maybe not necessarily like grow up, or like what things you came back with that you didn't have going over there? Like, what does that look like?
So like I'd never been away from my family for that long,
Yeah,
obviously.
you have a pretty tight-knit family too, right?
Yeah.
That's the vibe I get at least.
Yeah. So I'm like, my family's close, and
Yeah.
I'm close to my parents, I'm close to my siblings. So like leaving them in the first place was really hard.
Yeah.
So saying goodbye, like at the airport, I was
Waterworks.
yeah,
Yeah.
like just
Solving.
everything.
Just everything. Complete and utter mess.
Yeah, and so I thought like, oh, I'm gonna get crazy homesick over there, and I'd only got homesick around Christmas.
Yeah.
And then when like my younger sister got really sick,
Yep.
she was in hospital. So.
Yep.
But otherwise, like, I was enjoying myself. Like I was busy every day.
Yeah.
I was very busy.
Did you have to kind of like be in the moment when you come to that stuff? Like, hey, I should go check in with mum, or does it just come naturally? Because I feel like, I don't know, from the outside looking in, it'd be hard to kind of like separate those two worlds and just be like so involved in one and be like without forgetting about the other one.
Yeah.
The old like when you leave high school, you lose half your friends because of that
Yeah.
kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I get what you mean. I would like. It's hard to like sit down and find a time where it's like quiet. I'm like, all right, let me call my family.
Yeah.
But, I'd call them a couple times a week.
Yeah.
At least. Sometimes every day a week. Like it would just depend. But yeah, like, and especially having younger siblings too. Like I always want to check in. I'm
Yeah,
like, growing up so fast. Like I would, I missed my younger brother Hunter's like his first day of school and like all these things, and I was like, oh, that sucks, but
Byproduct.
yeah. So coming back, like, the month before I was coming back, I was like excited. I was like, I was like, this is gonna be so weird. Like I haven't been in person with my family for like 10 months now.
Was it weird?
like at the airport, like seeing them again, I was like, this is kind of like surreal. Like it's weird, but you know, after a few days, it was just like it was normal again. So.
Did your mum and dad like make a shrine in your room or something at home, and just like was it like really neat and tidy, like weirdly when you got home?
My sister took my room.
Oh, did she?
My sister took my room, so my 2 younger siblings are like sharing a room for the time being.
Yeah.
So I have my own bed.
Big dog status.
So after 2 weeks here, I was like, like I'm ready to go back.
I can go home now.
Yeah, I was like,
my space.
Like, I love you guys.
Yeah, I get it.
Like, I was busy every day over there, and like, I had I'd built my life over there. If that makes sense. Like, I have this new life, I guess, that's over there. And so coming back was like, it was great. Like, I love seeing my family and catching up with friends and all that, but like, it's just
I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
It's just not the same. So, like, it was hard to like adjust coming back.
You get used to being independent, having your own space, and doing what you want.
Yeah.
Like that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Not having to live by someone else's schedule, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. So, coming back here, like I do a lot of babysitting. Like,
yeah, but you love it. I know you love it.
Well, I love them.
Yeah.
So, and then I come to Virtus like, 4 or 5 times a week. That's. Go to the stadium, get some shots up.
Which we are going to go do next week. You're going to see how good my stroke is and how bad my handles are.
right.
Deal.
Sure. Yeah, so it was honestly a really big adjustment. Like it was harder than I thought it would be.
Yeah.
And then I feel like I've been here forever.
Yeah, I can't get rid of you. We're about to, but it's
soon.
been a while. It's been a while. Soon. Let's not talk about it.
So yeah, but when the time comes to say goodbye again, like it's gonna be hard, but
I might cry.
No, you're not.
I might.
No, you're not.
I'll rock up to the airport. I'll call your mum when she's flying out.
So yeah.
Talk to me about Virtus life. So, how'd you get on with Greg in the first place? Actually,
my mum did. So
we. Because actually, I don't think I know this. Greg just got kind of like handballed you my way. So
I'm gonna have to remember names. So we go to the chiropractor in Somerville.
Yep.
And my mum, is his name Sam?
My therapist?
Yes.
Yeah, Sam Thomas.
All right.
Shout out.
Yeah, so he got us onto here.
Sam does wonderful things with Virtus, and he probably should investigate about a finder's fee because he sends so many people this way. So Sam, thank you. We love you.
Yeah, so Sam's to thank. So then I came here, saw Greg.
Blow your mind. He does that to people.
Yeah, he was just like, my dad coming home.
He was
after
like your
that,
dad.
Coming home after that, Dad was like, he's like some mad scientist type.
He is a little bit.
Physio. And I was like, that's a good way to put it.
He is, but it's not even mad science. It's good science, technically.
Yeah, it's just like.
It's just a different way of doing things that not a lot of people get access to. And, we can't, as much as we'd like to, just like plaster Greg's head on billboards because that'd be fantastic.
Yeah, so saw Greg.
Yep.
Started training.
Yeah, we did.
Haven't stopped since.
Yeah, can't get rid of you since. What have you enjoyed about training at Virtus?
Obviously, getting my shoulder stronger.
Yep.
Back to normal. Well, it was probably stronger than it was before I had done it in the first place.
Yep.
And then I just think it's fun. I like working out. I like lifting weights. It's fun.
Yeah, we do.
Mitch is great too.
I
know he was waiting. He was waiting for it.
You made me sick.
You made me sick. He was sitting here giving me puppy dog eyes. Say it. No, Mitch is great too.
Thanks.
I like training.
We vibe.
It's fun.
We vibe. You only go to throw fists with me and I give you chin ups and things like that. Saw the eyes darting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hello, Tyler, everyone. We're nearly done, don't we? What don't you like training about Virtus?
Nothing.
That you have to leave us?
Yeah.
When are you leaving, actually? So today is the 19th of August. I think this will come out Sunday night, but when are you leaving?
On the 30th.
Getting close.
It is getting close.
What are you going to do between now and then?
Figure out what I'm packing. What am I taking this time around?
What am I packing? I love how you said that like an American too. Like, what am I packing?
Oh, that wasn't even close.
I know it wasn't, but that's okay.
Like, last time I took, like, a lot of clothes that I never wore.
Yeah.
Like, I lived in trackies. They call them sweats, but sweats, trackies. I lived in those in a hoodie, like, almost every day.
I think you live in that now, nearly.
Yeah, well, yep.
Yep.
I'm not gonna argue.
Yep.
Yeah, so I got to figure out what I'm taking. And I've got a lot of requests to bring back some white Tim Tams. They are a crowd favourite.
Crowd favourite?
Yeah.
I want a hoodie, so you have to bring back the next time you come back.
All right.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
deal. Lastly, all I wanted to kind of talk about was like Virtus things. Like, you know, what have you enjoyed about, like, I don't know, obviously Virtus, and for those that haven't been to Virtus, like, we are a little bit different of a gym. It's not necessarily like your Anytime Fitness. There's a lot of machines and stuff like that. It's more like people based, and we say this all the time that we're more in like a people business than we are gym and training and stuff like that. Like, what have you enjoyed about that kind of like circle aspect and like your little wrist strap posse and your little 9 a.m. girl squad that drive me out the wall in a good way? In a good way. In a good way.
Well, I think you can tell it's very people based as soon as you come in here. Like, you know, the programs that you make for me are very personalized, and I think, you know, instead of going to your 9 a.m. at F45, like, you know, it's kind of, it's more personal here. It's more inclusive.
And I think you are someone who kind of like strives on, or like is not motivated by a connection, but like thrives on connection.
Yeah.
You like that part of it.
Yeah. So I think, you know, everyone's looking out for everyone. Everyone's happy to have a chat, have a, you know, shout out Jeff.
Yeah, I was waiting for you to say that. I was so waiting for you to say that. So for reference, Jeff, he's not going to listen to this. And this is the second time we've talked about Jeff, and he refuses to listen to the podcast. But Jeff is a basically retired New York American guy who could not be more America. Literally rocks up in sweats, has a latte in his hand in his aviators, has his Under Armour sweat on as well, and just does 3 banded rotations, 8 band rows, maybe a trap bar deadlift if we're lucky, and then pops himself in the lounge chairs and puts his feet up and watches the stocks. Yep. So Jeff and Indy, they've had some chats.
We have.
And anyone who trains around kind of 9 a.m. on a Tuesday or Friday, you all get stuck talking to Jeff once.
We love Jeff.
Who's your favourite Virtus client? Because we're not going to do our little quick fire 15, but who's your favourite Virtus client? Who do you get along with the best?
Rach.
Who's your favourite Virtus coach?
Mitch.
Good answer.
And Tyler.
Tyler's sitting in the background going, excuse me? What's your favourite lift?
Ooh. We started doing hip thrusts, but then you threw them out of my program.
Yeah, didn't
so I'd have to say deadlifts because that's the heaviest I get to.
Character building ones.
Yeah.
No chin-ups, no bench?
Nope.
Anything upper body? And no, sir. I am not doing it. What's your favourite, let's say, recovery modalities? What do you like to do? What do you get the most out of?
Walking.
Walking? Yeah. Normal Text now, you've used them?
Yeah, they were really good.
Yeah, haven't been like within 10 metres of the ice bath, so...
Well, Tyler keeps trying to get me to do it, and I just...
You got to do one before you leave.
Like, when are you jumping in? Not today.
One before you leave. You know, first step, normal text. Second step, icy.
Right, we'll see.
One before you leave. What's one thing you would recommend to people, or some advice you would say to some potentially young basketballers who are looking at college and looking to going down that path to kind of progress? Like, what is something you would give them?
I think it's cliche, but you have to work harder than everyone else.
Yeah, it's brutal. It's cutthroat.
Yeah, all through high school, I would do my 6 a.m. practices before school, just because I was busy that night, or I was busy and I had home, like all those things. Like you gotta work harder than everyone else if you want to get somewhere with it. So.
Yep. Means doing your chin-ups when you don't want to do your chin-ups, and
does mean that
doing your running when Mitch says we've got to run today.
Yeah, it's never too busy to run.
We got rid of those Nike shoes pretty quick too.
Yeah.
Just never know what you're in for.
Yeah.
I think that's it. Any more for any more? No questions we had to talk about? Your college friends gave us nothing?
Just... no.
Nah, nothing. We're going to wrap it up there. Deal?
We are, yeah.
You survived?
I did.
You didn't hate it as much as you thought you would?
It wasn't terrible.
Win for me. I'm taking that running down. Thank you for coming on. We will do some stuff before you leave, video-wise, but that's all I've got to talk about. So we're going to wrap it up. Thank you for listening, anyone who's still listening, and Indy and I and our mannerisms that we end up going on tangents. But I'm not sure who's next week's guest. Tyler, what do you got for us?
Not too sure yet, Mitchell.
That's not too sure. That's a surprise. So stay tuned. This will come out when it comes out, and I hope you enjoy listening. And thanks, Indy.
Thank you.